One of the things, college football and baseball have older fan bases, and they tend to push back on change. NIL is going to ruin the sport. The transfer portal is going to ruin the sport.
It's just the sport's never been a more unhealthy right now, and yet we have unbelievable ratings. But I digress. Go ahead. I agree with you.
And I think it's going to explode next year. And I tell my
Really?
Pac-10 fans and brethren, guys, Washington State or UCLA, that was getting nobody outside of Pullman and barely anybody in LA to a TV set. We are going to get so many quality games. I mean, Michigan against Washington, Oregon, Penn State, USC against Wisconsin, Nebraska, Michigan. I think the sport is next year is the start of almost, Greg, a new sport. Baseball made tweaks to the pitch clock and the defensive shift, but they didn't really fundamentally change the game. They chopped some time off it. Fundamentally next year, I think you're going to see going forward, team schedule bigger out of conference games, not afraid to lose. You're going to see more. I've always thought college football has one issue, not enough great games.
Yeah.
In every Sunday in that early window, there's 3 down to the wire finishes minimum. It's crazy. In college football, you may get 2 games a weekend between really competent teams that are great because everybody's afraid to schedule anybody. I think next year is the beginning of almost a different version of college football. I think the Pac-12 folding into the Big Ten, the top teams, is fantastic for the sport, although initially we blanch, we push back because college football fans love history, and so do I, and the regionalization of the sport. But I think we're in a great spot, and I look at this top 10. Can you imagine if these teams were playing each other and I could get Bama and Florida State and Michigan and Texas? I mean, God, Greg, this is fantastic.
Well, I tweeted actually just a moment ago before we got linked up, and it's been posted for 13 minutes, and it has thousands of views already. And all it is the picture of the 12-team playoff for next year. And you have Tulane at Michigan. You have Oklahoma at Alabama, Penn State at Oregon, and Ole Miss at Texas. And then in the next round, Washington has a bye. Ohio State hosts the winner of Bama, Oklahoma. Florida State hosts the winner of Penn State, Oregon. Georgia hosts the winner of Texas, Ole Miss. First 2 teams left out are Missouri and Louisville, and you can already hear the griping about, well, we're not big brands, we're getting penalized. I can already hear that, and the format's not even finalized. But you have 5 Big Ten teams, 5 SEC teams, an ACC school in Florida State, and Tulane. It's going to be absurd. And I want to embrace the current format because that's where our feet are. But I can't disagree with you at all when thinking about what's coming and some of the matchups that'll be created in the postseason.